Hi there. My name is Louise Weatherhead, and you're listening to the IR Olof's Globetrotters podcast. Today we're doing a special three-part episode on South African moms in the Netherlands in celebration of Mother's Day. This is part one, and joining me today are my colleagues at IR Olof's Globetrotters, Jessica Liebenberg and Alzaan van Dijk. We also have a special guest, Shantae Lindis, who is an administrator of the highly popular Facebook group South African Moms in the Netherlands. We hope you enjoy the podcast. Hi there, my name's Louise Weatherhead. For this episode, which we're going to be launching on Mother's Day, we're focusing on everything around moving to the Netherlands with your children, to having children in the Netherlands, and just kids growing up in the Netherlands. But let everybody introduce themselves so you get to know us a little bit better before we jump into the topics. As mentioned, I'm Larice. My daughter is 4 years old. She was born here in the Netherlands, and she will soon be going to primary school here.
Should I go next? Okay, cool. So my name's Alzaan. I've been in the Netherlands for a year now. My experience as a mom is yet to come, so I'm 16 weeks pregnant. So yeah, that's my perspective, I guess, on this whole thing.
So I'm Shantae. I come from Purple Pretoria, back in South Africa. And I've been in the Netherlands here in Hilversum for the last 5.5 years. I've got a son that we brought over from South Africa when he was about 30 centimeters long. And yeah, heel klein. And then I had a baby daughter born during COVID. So got two little humans at home.
Wow. Hi, guys. So, my name is Jessica. I am still in South Africa on our way to the Netherlands. I can't wait to be there in August. I've got two kids. I've got a girl that's turning 12 this year. And then I also have a little boy that's age 4 with some special needs. But we'll get into that a bit later.
Um, Moving with your kids to the Netherlands. Jessica, what has your experience been so far? And when are you coming over, for example? So, how much time do you have left for planning?
Yes. Well, I actually had a look today, and we have got 93 days left until we land in the Netherlands. I know I'm counting the days. Can you believe it? But honestly, so far, apart from all of the excitement that I'm feeling, to join you guys on that side, I also feel a little bit nervous, especially for my kids. With my boy having special needs and special needs that we need to cater to, that does put a lot of extra pressure on my plate, right? Because I need to make sure that he will be able to get the same, if not better, medical care on that side that he's getting on this side. So I've been really spending a lot of time getting reports from all of his therapists, from all of his doctors, because I want to be sure that I am as prepared as possible for the day that I actually land there and I start seeing his doctors, so that they've got a clear understanding of where he is, in his journey, and we can then figure out a way for them to help us going further. I do have an amazing lady that is assisting me, Alzette. She is a relocation, immigration specialist. And she's also assisting me in finding schools for my two kids. Haley will be easy. She'll go into toll school, I believe, for the first year or so, and then she'll move over to the mainstream schools. She is very, very excited. She's a little bit nervous about how she will fit in socially with friends on that side, but she does make friends quite easily, so I'm not too worried about her. Tell me though, Larice, what was the most exciting part for you when you guys moved over to the NL with your kids? Well, with your kid.
Well, I don't. Lizzie was born here, but Shantae came over with their daughter.
The infant boy, yeah. It was a little bit nerve-wracking because my husband had gone over before me because his visa was done before mine was. Timelines happen a little bit differently everywhere else in the world. But I eventually joined him about 6, 7 weeks later, and it was just so beautiful. Like, just the fact that we're able to allow our children to walk so far ahead of us, for example, when we're walking down the street, like that took me ages to get used to. Oh, goodness, like my heart was in my throat the first few times, and I was like, yeah. But you get used to it. I think you've got a lot to look forward to here, truly, and you're going to have a lot of help. You're going to have a lot of help and people on your side.
Talking about the help with children, not just older kids coming over and then being advised to maybe first do a tile school, the teachers are very involved. They have, what I understand is they have a consultation with you as the parent and the child and say, okay, we suggest maybe first doing a tile school, or if the child is young enough, or if the language skills are stronger, then they might suggest not put the child directly into the mainstream school already. They'll be able to cope. But with special needs, for example, my sister, her daughter has ADHD. It was diagnosed here, etc. It's a whole consultation between just with the teachers and the consultatie bureau and the gemeente and the medical aid. They all work together to work out a plan for the child with special needs, whatever it is. And it's not just usually medication or therapy for the child, but also classes, etc., for the parents as well, to help the parents cope better as well for that child.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I did not know about that. Wow.
It's a common question that moms have when they start thinking and planning about their move over to the Netherlands. We see it often in the Facebook group. Like, will there be support when I land? And who do I go to first? And is my son or my daughter going to adapt and understand what's actually being said to them? And, if they do need to go into tall school, if they don't, which way do I turn? And when you're coming in, I just want you to know, like, there is a whole group of moms that have gone through it that you can talk to. Like, you just need to find your people. And starting on that Facebook group is quite helpful. But there's so many South Africans in the Netherlands groups. So somewhere
Someone will help you. Just for context, Shantae is one of the administrators on the South African Moms in the Netherlands Facebook group. So she has a lot of experience in answering a variety of questions, or at least seeing these questions come through. So a lot of these things are I don't want to say general, but there are overarching themes that all the moms kind of deal with. So we're trying to provide you with some groundwork for when you guys come over, or when you try and plan your family, so you guys have some context at least for what's going to happen, or how it works, or what to expect as well.
The tall school one is a very common theme, though. Like, where do I send my child? My child is 4 years old or 5 years old. Do they go first to tall school? Do they not? And that's like purely it's based on the child. Are they really okay?
Can I interject? Just for mommy newbie over here, what is the difference between a tall school and a normal mainstream school? I mean, obviously I get that the tall school focuses on the Dutch and it's for kids who's not Dutch proficient, but what are the other differences, or is that it?
It's a great question. So when your child, for example, is 8 years old, 9 years old, right? Mm-hmm. They've been taught everything in Afrikaans in South Africa, or English in South Africa, or another language in South Africa. But they need to come here and they need to build on that foundation of what they've been taught. Mm-hmm. But they don't have the right Dutch words to use to build on that knowledge. So they spend a transition year. It's normally about a year. They go into the Dutch taal school. they learn the basics that they need to build on their education, and then they move up into the mainstream, and then that's when they go forward. So your little one is going to be born here in the Netherlands, so they'll be exposed. You're probably going to change your Netflix to Dutch, play as much kinderen for kinderen songs in the background as you possibly can. Yes, absolutely,
I have now gotten so used to watching Bluey in Dutch that the one with the Australian voice actors, sounds wrong. The Dutch one sounds more correct for me. I love the voice of the dad and the kids. Sounds correct to me.
And guys, I also need to say, like, kids pick up quite quickly, right? I mean, Haley has been doing the Dutch lessons with us every weekend, where me and Evan, my husband, will sit there scratching our head. She's like, "No, mom, let me show you. Let me show you." And I'm like, "How do you even know this?" They pick it up so quickly. So I don't think it's an easy transition for them, but it's definitely something that they pick up quite quickly and they're able to do quite quickly.
One tip I may have for incoming moms like yourself is for the older children, or even children from about 4 or 5 years old, is to download an app called Squala.
Squala. Okay. What is that?
So that's an app that you use on your iPad or your computer if you want. And it's basically the Dutch basisschool curriculum, but they've simplified it and they've made it user-friendly and interactive for the little kids. So if, like my child, he's struggling a little bit with groep 2 topics or whatever, the certain words. So we've downloaded this app and it just reinforces everything that they've learned at school. So the proper Dutch way to say things. My pronunciation is not spot on. My 5-year-old has corrected me a few times. So yes, the Dutch program will teach him how to speak Dutch properly.
But for older children that are entering high school, etc., sometimes parents have a concern and they don't want that to affect their tertiary entrance, etc. There are international schools here as well. It's going to be more expensive. You also get public schools that have kind of a combination with the international schools. There are variations of that as well here. So there are options for parents that are like, my kid's not gonna cope, or I want my child to be taught in English. There are solutions.
Absolutely. And I think you get those international schools. I know there's one in Amersfoort, there's one in Almere, there's one in Hilversum. And I'm sure there's more in other towns. So that's definitely an option. But you do pay extra for that because the normal Dutch schooling system, you can just do your ouder bijdrage and that's it. Yeah.
I was actually surprised because Lizzie's going to start schooling soon, and we did they call it Vendagen. Like it's basically so the child gets comfortable going to more formalized schooling because they have certain activities that they cycle through. They have to sit at a table. There's rules. It's all these new rules that kindergarten not really employed. And sorry, when we were sitting down with the teacher and going through all the details about Lizzie, I'm like, are you sure I shouldn't register somewhere to pay or make sure that everything's touched? She's like, no, you're good. Your daughter's registered with us. You've got a BSN. It's all good to go. And it's amazing because they have fruit days in the week where the gemeente has sponsored all the fruit for their school. Their school also has offers for 1 year free swimming lessons because swimming lessons are compulsory here in the Netherlands for kids. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of water here if you you need to be able to. So yeah, then you can have put your child on a waiting list and have them then take the lessons for free for a year, and then
But there's a lot of, just in general, there's a lot of help from the gemeentes to help incoming expats like us. Like when I arrived, yeah, I didn't know Dutch at all. So yeah, I got listening and learning from other people and hearing what is what and where can I learn Dutch. And one of the ladies, one of our neighbors, actually said to me, "Go to Danner and Danner." So I said, "How now?" So she's like, "No, this is a gemeente sponsored language course." So as an incoming expat, as a housewife at that stage, I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing too much besides looking after my child. I'll do this language course in my free time. It was paid for by the gemeente and it was fantastic. So if you come in and you have that opportunity, like grab it with both hands, like truly.
I think the key takeaway is don't be afraid to ask, because as South Africans we are so super selfstandig, independent, that we don't exactly, and we're not comfortable asking and being like, "Hey, I need help." So yeah, just don't be scum, I guess.
we hope you enjoyed listening to part 1 of our special South African Moms in the Netherlands episode. Be sure not to miss part 2 and 3. Wishing all moms, and soon-to-be moms, a happy Mother's Day from all of us at our Olaf's Globetrotters. To learn more about our Olaf's Globetrotters and how you too could move to the Netherlands with your family, be sure to visit our website at www.thenextglobetrotter.co.za.